I am still working through Numbers chapters 28 and 29, and still not clearly understanding some aspects of the sacrificial system. First, would you consider atonement and forgiveness the same thing? Should we stop there, or should we keep going? Hang on, he goes on. For example, when I say my sins are forgiven or Yeshua's completed work has made atonement for my sins, is that the same thing? Question 1. You want to go? You want to talk about that?
What's question 2? Let me grab a passage of scripture while you're reading.
Okay, question 2 is this. He says, what did the tabernacle/temple sin offering accomplish? Was the Israelites' sins forgiven afterwards? Was his sins then atoned for? That's question 2. And he makes a clarifying statement if the answer is yes, but I think that this is enough to talk about for a few seconds.
Well, do you want me to go and share that passage
Sure,
I was thinking about?
Please.
So in Isaiah chapter 6, we see this incredible scenario where the prophet has this vision of the glory of God. And you can go and read Isaiah chapter 6, but he sees the seraphim calling out to each other, Kadosh, 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 right? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Verse 4 says the foundations of the thresholds trembled at the voice of him who called out. The temple was filling with smoke. Then I said, woe is me, for I am ruined, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Okay, so this is the prophet Isaiah, shaken in his shoes. And it says, one of the seraphim flew to me with a burning coal in his hand, which he had taken from the altar with tongs, and he touched my mouth with it and said, behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity is taken away. Your sin is atoned. So this is a place where we have the atonement for sin in a prophetic context where Isaiah is basically brought to the edge of his humanity, edge of his existence. Even though he's a righteous prophet before the Lord, he's a man of faith. He is trembling at the radical depravity of the human condition over in contrast with the holiness of God. So Isaiah's not, I'm so righteous, I had this coming. I should have had this vision, I've been waiting for this vision of your holiness because I am so worthy, right? That's not his response. His response is, woe is me. And the act for this atonement is taken from the side of heaven. Right? He sees the angel that grabs this coal with the tongs and says, your sin is atoned. So to me, that encapsulates both. On the one hand, there is the heart of Isaiah, which is speaking the truth. I am absolutely unworthy. Unworthy is not even a weighty enough word. He says, I am undone. And then he confesses the impurity of his own lips. Now, this is a man who has beautiful Hebrew. I mean, if you've studied Hebrew and you read Isaiah, it's some of the most beautiful poetry, prophetic poetry. And why would we think, well, Isaiah doesn't have any impure speech? Like, why is he saying that he's a man of unclean lips and he dwells among the people of unclean lips? It's because he identifies with the people and the problem. He understands the problem of sin and the chasm, the vast chasm between the holiness of God and the human predicament, even among Israel, even among a holy prophet of Israel.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think I don't hear an answer to the question.
He's confessing. So the confession is first. The confession of what is true comes out of Isaiah's mouth. And the forgiveness comes, and the atonement are the response. Maybe I missed the question. The question is, what's the difference between forgiveness and atonement?
Correct. Say it one more time for me.
They're essentially they're different ways of describing the same thing. They're different terms. You can't have one without the other.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.